Hello, crooks. I am back. I think I was not here last episode.
You were?
No, by the way.
Didn't
Yeah,
notice.
I was actually in the bathroom. I was here, but not in this room. I was in the bathroom. I had
And the tummy tumblers.
I had the bubble guts. Yeah, it came out my eyeballs. But speaking,
You're gonna repaint the walls. It's fine.
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was actually doing construction.
Yeah.
So this podcast is actually going to be very exciting because I was having a conversation before before we go live, and we were saying that we touched on so much different aspects of SL with content creation and we actually have a very special guest today, Meela Vanderbuilt. Is that how you say it? Is that how you say your last name? Awesome. Did I get it right?
You did.
You know what? I get no names right.
Same.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah. You should hear me last night trying to read Aztec names. That was horrible. So I'm glad to have you on the podcast because actually I was telling you that you are on the cusp of a big trend in SL of SL YouTubers. Do you consider yourself as a SL YouTuber or a YouTuber?
I think when I started, I was all about being an SL YouTuber, but just knowing where I plan to go in the next few months, I would just say YouTuber.
YouTuber? Is it offensive if I say SL YouTuber?
No, not at all. That's literally 99% of my content.
Okay. But like I'm past that. Who's that dude? The Wahlberg guy that did the boy band thing. And then if you mention that,
Mark Wahlberg.
You can't tell him that he's in the Funky Bunch, because he would get pissed.
No, I feel like SL will always be a big part of my YouTube.
What made you want to come into like SL and do content and create a YouTube channel? Like, what was that dawning?
Very random. So, I've been in SL for a while and it's always just been very busy. And I got into YouTube in general probably about a year ago. I started thinking I wanted to create a channel. But all the YouTube channels I was seeing for Second Life were so focused on shopping, and shopping isn't a huge passion of mine. Like, I like to do it when I have to, but it's not like how I spend my time. And I was watching a lot of Sims and like GTA YouTube channels, and I'm like, well, no one knows what Second Life's all about because no one's actually showing gameplay. So I wanted to do a lot of just like what a typical person, air quotes, playing SL does other than shop or like have sex.
It's a lot of sex.
Yeah. When you log in, it's an odd, smell, in SL.
It really is.
It's a lot of that's what
Back
we
at
battle
the
a
pool
lot.
hall, dark room.
Yeah. But when you did your podcast, did you have? So you said that you had fashion in mind when you started your channel, right? Of SL.
Well, no, that's kind of what I was hoping to stay away from. Granted, I don't think it's possible because it's such a big part of our Second Lives period. But I wanted to focus more on just like what I do outside of shopping. So, how I have fun, how I run businesses, things like that.
Yeah, I think people are scared to film SL because they think that, it's a game that you could say anything, and then I think they focus on before this, your YouTube channel, and you've given a informative aspect of SL. The popular SL videos were just, really mean troll videos.
Oh, yeah. I saw those too.
How did they not get flagged on YouTube?
I have no idea because I get flagged for almost everything. Like I barely swear anymore. I can't show a butt cheek. Like I've got to get really PG. Yeah, literally avatar. Like in my jeans sometimes, like depending on what I'm wearing.
Wow.
But what was the stupidest thing you got flagged for?
I have to say, like having my camera behind Meela as she was walking, wearing a pair of jeans. And like it was flagged for sexual content.
Oh my god!
I was like, I know the sheer size of it is massive, but
how do
I get those jeans?
Yeah. That's a great seller.
I think it has to be reported, so I'm sure people report all my videos. So like now I try to make like nothing valid. So I'm like, if they report it, nothing's gonna happen because it's not true. But in this case, YouTube responded and they were like, well, sometimes it can include clothed people, and I'm like, well, whatever. I didn't try to fight it.
Wow. So how you get flagged is people actually reporting that you're
Yeah.
doing that. Then YouTube comes along and watches that
Yeah.
and
But
decides.
after like a certain amount of reports per like IP, and then if it was valid or not, it doesn't end up
Oh,
bothering you after a while. So like now I'm sure people could report and not much really happens.
Mhm.
you know what? I watched one of your videos, and it was so great for me to watch starting out as a new podcast, because the
Mhm.
intricacies of how to promote and how to do
Mhm.
things on YouTube. And one of them is so, like, not a big detail, but it is. And it's actually, we have it to the left of me, that picture that says you have big font. And you said the reason why you have big font is because um most people watch YouTube on the phone.
Mhm.
So to get views, put that, and then that's why, if you notice, that's the big reason why I changed what we were doing, and I put big font on the.
Oh yeah.
You've
That's
influenced
Yeah,
Nesto.
yeah,
I
one
love
hundred
that.
percent.
nice.
Yeah.
That one
So
I got that word of advice. I have a friend who YouTubes in real life, and that was like the first thing she ever told me. She was like, literally, like, look at it on your phone or do it on like a Canva app and scroll all the way out to like 20% and see if you could still read the text. And if not, you need to
Mhm.
replace it.
yeah, and when I watched that video, I was like, Meela said. What's
I
one
love it
advice?
though.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
go ahead. I love it
Oh,
though because even though if you think it's just something so menial, like it
Mhm.
does make that big difference, and it does maybe take somebody who knows, business now that you've been doing it for a while, just
Yeah,
to kind of spell it out for them. Like, okay, I never thought about that.
for sure.
you get a lot of views on your thing. How does that make you feel? I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've had to stop paying attention to it because I'm such a numbers person. Like, I really,
you get obsessed with it.
yeah, I get obsessed and I just continue to compare myself to like past performance. So anytime you have like a dip up or down, that used to stress me out. So now I don't pay that much attention to it. Like I think granted on live stream sometimes, like I think the most people had watching once was like 200 and I was like, this is crazy. So I try not to even look at it when I'm streaming or anything.
Do you watch the option on YouTube where you can see where, like, people just turned off your video? I know that happens, but I don't want to ever see that because that'll lead to alcoholism. You
Oh
know what I
my
mean?
god.
Yeah, I look
'Cause
so I occasionally look at all of the analytics. So especially on the videos that I edit, I don't do a lot of editing. But on those ones, I like to see when people kind of checked out. So it just helps me figure out what people want to see.
yeah, I don't wanna know. Like, because I'll be like, "Okay, that's the point where I talked. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're checking out again.
And
That's
mute.
another part where I talk." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be that would be hardcore. Like, I feel
Mhm.
and I don't know, because this is our only sixth show, so
Mhm.
don't take my word for it, crooks. Uh,
Mhm.
take Mila's word for it. But I feel like, if I don't want to be looking at that, because then I'll be thinking too much of that,
Yeah.
and I just want every show to be what it is, you
Yeah.
know.
No, and you should work that way in the beginning. I don't think I started looking at analytics until like my 20th video or so. Because
Mm,
at that point, you're experimenting. You're like, what works, what doesn't work for me? Because like you
yeah,
can't just base what you do on your audience. Like you do have to kind of find your footing first.
yeah.
And that's what I did. And then after like 20, I started to see like what analytics was telling me and,
Mhm.
decide if I want to change. Because maybe not. Maybe, I'll find my audience and they'll like it just the way I produce it. So
It's
it
so
depends.
amazing how knowledgeful. Did you ever watch tutor? Like, how'd you get all that knowledge
No.
of
I
YouTube?
mean,
Have
Like,
you
she
done
knows
this
a
before?
lot. I watched
Yeah.
this video of that tutorial video of, like, get your views up. You know what I mean? And
uh,
and I'm
I
like,
do.
all right.
I watch a ton. That's like kind of my thing though. Like if I'm doing something, I want to continue learning. So
Mhm,
even now, I subscribe to like I can't remember how to say his name. It's like Nick Nimmin or something, and
Mhm.
mhm.
a bunch of people who create content about creating content. And I try to keep up with them at least once a week just to
Mhm.
see, if there's anything I can try out.
Who's
And then I just learn from experience.
who's your favorite SL YouTuber?
That is so hard because there's so many that I follow and so many like within my own community. But
Mhm.
I don't know if I can name a favorite. I'm having a lot of
Yeah,
fun. I
yeah.
know
Who are you
there
watching now? Who
there
are
are
you having fun?
two that just started. There's one called It's Be and Be Hayes, and they just started their channels, but they're so fun. Like there's a lot of gameplay, there is some shopping and fashion, and
Mhm.
like things like that where there's a bunch of different types of content. attract me. So I'm having a lot of fun watching theirs.
One thing I love about your channel is that sometimes you're doing your, a lot of times you're getting ready, you're doing your makeup, and it's like, I'm watching this and I'm hearing her. And so I was like, am I watching a beauty video? Because, oh, I love your wig today. And I like how you try to match it up with your avatar.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, that is so cute. I love, like, I feel so connected to that because, like, you bring that realness factor. Like, oh, I get ready at the computer too sometimes. And,
Oh yeah.
oh, look how she's doing her makeup. Do you get a lot of people from that side of the world, the ones who love the beauty videos, and then like, oh my god, you play this game at the same time, and vice versa?
Yeah, I'm just starting to get that. And it's funny because there was so much resistance in the beginning. I remember when I first started going on camera and even expressed an interest in makeup, like I'm sure I lost hundreds of subscribers because people were really mad about it. Because I think they have like this idea of who people who like makeup are. They're just like you're shallow, why do you wear makeup? You don't need it, like all this nonsense. But then I
Those are
am
the
now.
ones that like got hairy armpits, like
God,
Right.
how dare
They're like,
you.
how dare you take an hour to put on makeup? I'm like, because it's
yeah.
fun.
Well,
First of all, it's an art. Thank you.
Right. But I've noticed lately.
Created in 2 minutes. Jesus.
Right, exactly. But no, now it's pretty chill. Like I get people who even say like, I don't even play Second Life and I'm enjoying watching these videos. And I think that's
wow.
cool. Yeah.
Is it because like the tags? Like you bring tags,
Yeah, it's just I think for a while. I haven't done very much diverse content lately, but for a while there were so many different types of tags that I could put that were applicable. Like I wasn't just tag cheating, but like, people interested in makeup or fashion or vlogs. They could find this and have no idea what Second Life is and just kind of stick around for the conversation. And
it's funny because in your video you're like, tags are so tags on YouTube or social media, to explain what we're talking about. I think most people know, that if you're like below 70, but you said tags are so important, you know what I mean? And if you want to like auto tag, blah blah blah, right? So on Flickr I auto tag.
Oh yeah.
And it would have like random things, and then one would be just like off the wall, Santa Monica Pet Shop. Like here, you should follow this guy. It's like, what the hell?
So what I love about it, kind of like my point of bringing it up, is like how much you bring that real life perspective into the game. Like I am a real person behind this avatar.
Yeah.
I'm navigating this game just like anybody else, and you're sharing that navigation experience.
Yeah.
That a lot of people, it's just so relatable. And one thing I was gonna say about that is I'm gonna have to edit this part out. I lost my train of thought just then. Okay.
It's scary putting your real life.
Yeah.
And that's how people find it like super scary.
It's crazy. And I think
you're on video all the time.
Yeah. And that was my intention, right? So I had so much anxiety turning the camera on. But I was like, it's really annoying to me that I'm watching all these documentaries on Second Life and like Life 2 that's on fucking, or I don't know if I can swear. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And that I'm like, that's
I'm
not
gonna flag this video myself.
Good to know. Now I can let loose. But I was like, this doesn't necessarily represent Second Life. And I remember even before I went on camera, in every single chat for a live stream, people are like, oh my God, only losers play Second Life, or you're all like basement dwellers. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna turn my camera on and we're gonna like get rid of that stereotype real quick. And like I was very intentional about that. And I even try to bring some other people who are in Second Life on camera. Like that's been a process, but we're trying to do more.
What if you invite me, but I am a basement dweller?
Then that's okay.
Like I'm gonna be talking to you and there's leaky pipes in the background.
Love it.
And my mom's like, your sandwich is ready, you asshole.
We need the diversity. And I think that's like the overall thing. Like there's no one person that plays Second Life. And like just because this is me who plays, like that doesn't represent everyone. I think the more people get comfortable with that, because I think even like Linden Labs itself is so anonymous. Like the fact that I think I've seen Abby once and I've never seen any other staff, like that's not quite normal of a company. Like I feel like I've seen so many faces at EA. And
really? Wow.
Yeah, I think it kind of sets the tone. Like I think in marketing, it would be so much more impactful if Second Life or Linden Labs put real people that play the game in some of their ads, like IMVU does. And I think that's why people are more comfortable, like not hiding who they are in real life in IMVU. But I don't know, it's still the internet, so it still freaks me out sometimes.
I think Linden Labs just thinks their SLs on autopilot. Like, let them do
Yeah,
whatever. And
yeah.
they occasionally make sure nobody blows shit up,
Mhm.
Mhm.
or turn,
Or they just intentionally blow shit up.
yeah. I think
So
Lynn Lab's spoiled.
one thing, okay, I've remembered my question because there's this video that I really love that you did. It's where you got together, you invited all of your real life girlfriends, and you're gonna come out the closet, so to speak, to let them know that you play Second Life.
I was like,
And yeah, and I could just tell how nervous you were, but I feel like that's kind of a lot of us. Because
Yeah.
SL is
oh,
like
that's a
kind of this
powerful.
closet game. And so my question to you, because you did invite them and they did seem interested to come play in World, have they done that? And you know, what are their thoughts so far?
Yeah, so one joined me again for a video, but I mean, they think it's weird, and like I'm okay with that. But like those four know me, I think, more better than any other friends that I have. So even for them, it was hard to kind of believe that this is what I do with my time. So I'm
Mhm.
Mhm.
like, I mean, even to this day, I still haven't completely shared my YouTube channel with anyone on my real life Instagram or Facebook. Like no one but those four, and then a couple of family members know about it. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I still feel like I need to come out of the closet with this like YouTube.
That's
But,
so interesting that you say, like, come out the closet of playing SL.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
right.
I feel the same exact way though, because I just feel like, how do I explain this game? And how do I tell them I spend a lot of time on here? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And I think that's what YouTube is helping with. Like the more people are creating content to kind of show what it's all about. Cause that was the other thing. Once a couple of them watched a few videos afterwards, they were like, I
Mhm.
get this. Like you talked about playing The Sims all the time. Like you were total like computer nerd in college. Like this makes so much sense now that I see what it is. But if I would have just told them like I spend like 8 hours on Saturday on a game, they wouldn't
Yeah.
have gotten it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Second
Like,
Life is a social like game with real
Yeah,
people. It's not like you're playing with AIs, or is that
right.
what they're called? Like NPCs, I think they're called.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you can't marry an NPC, and if you say you do, you got problems. You
But
know what
what's
I mean?
crazy is they could understand that more. Like, they couldn't
Really?
believe I was here with other people. They're like, "Other people are there that you're talking to?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No NPC marrying shaming, by the way. Some of
If
these.
Linden Labs were to come to you, Mila, and they wanted you to be a Linden, would you be a Linden?
I don't know. I mean, I really like my job in real life, and it would
Mm.
either be something I'm just adding on to everything, or, like, it would have to be a better offer than what I do in real life, which right now is hard to imagine.
Do you
Didn't
do
you start?
marketing in real life?
No, I've been super
Without getting
secretive
into it.
about yeah,
Okay,
it's not
okay, yeah.
marketing, but I do think what I do in real life makes this feel pretty natural. So
I mean, the way you market your YouTube and like, I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
your did you? I
Well,
don't.
I went to business school for marketing.
I mean,
Um,
I'm looking at that picture right now, and that's just a great poster shot.
thank you. This is my first time in front of a camera. So years ago, I did run a magazine in real life. So I was editor-in-chief for a magazine and did a lot of creative design stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it's easy for me to like visualize stuff, but I've never been the one in
Gotcha.
front of the camera. So that's been my struggle now.
Okay. Well, it's looking
That's
great, honey.
that's what I like about SL. Like, I woke
Gorgeous.
up and literally, I'm going to start a podcast, and I did it.
Mhm.
Like you do. I don't get like when people say, "Oh, it's so boring," and you literally can do
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I mean? There's so
Yeah.
much, just
There's so
I
much to
don't know.
do. I stick to that. Like boring people get bored. Like there are
So
days where there's not much to do, but there's just
And
I don't know.
you are one busy woman on here.
Oh yeah.
you are busy.
Busy. Do you want to kind of get into that a little bit on the business side of things,
Yeah, we
Nesma?
can get into that. There's a lot. So I don't even know where to start.
Give
I
her her
guess
briefcase.
Page
I
one. Talk
Let's
well
talk
the
about
about
first
Monarchy, which
yeah,
I'm a VIP in.
and Bayside. I would like to touch on both.
Yeah.
yes. So it started with the monarchy. I started that like my first year in Second Life, and I had a partner then.
Wow.
But then we left Second Life for a few years. So I came back in like 2016 and rebuilt everything.
Let's do a shout out of your ex real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. First of all, I often wonder where the hell he is. I'm like, did he die? Like
You
I
know
would
what?
never know.
He's actually here. Come in. I'm just kidding.
Welcome everybody. No, just
Yeah.
Right. But
Jason. There you go. No, just kidding.
it's under Jason's top hat.
Yeah.
I'd believe it. But yeah, so I started that, or I built that back up in 2016. That's kind of been my biggest project. And that was one that I was just so invested in and spent so much of my time. And then I think a year or two ago, I wanted to branch out into other stuff because I don't know, I can't focus on one thing for very long. And that's when I created, it was first called the Vanderbuilt. So we had like a series of restaurants, and that's what's eventually become Bayside. Just because we wanted people to be able to live near those restaurants. And Bayside has now continued to grow. And now we're finally getting this opportunity to bring all of that together across 3 Sims. And that'll save a lot of teleport time. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
But it's been fun because even through that, I've had the opportunity to kind of play with all of my interests. So, I've built the websites for all of them. And I don't know, it's been a lot of fun.
What I love about it is that it really stresses role play. It promotes role play. It promotes, the whole user experience. So, can you talk a little bit about what Bayside offers with that?
Yeah, so I remember that was my first memories of Second Life were at the sim called Rocky Valley, which was like this immersive role play sim, but it wasn't like it didn't stress para role play or anything like that. It was just kind of lax. So when I was thinking of building Bayside, I was like, well, I don't have that experience in Second Life anymore. One, because I'm always at the Monarchy, but even if I do go to a role play sim, like you have to stick to these like very specific guidelines and write a very specific way. Right. So I just wanted something where people could like create a life and just live it out. So we wanted it to feel immersive, but we wanted to like give people reasons to do stuff. So we incorporated the entire city with Zeolife, which is like a life simulator. So we're like, we can make it like a life simulation game. So people like have a reason to use the toilet or, go to the restaurant to get something to eat. So it really just encourages people to kind of engage with all of these places we're creating. Like we have gyms and, supermarkets, but it gives people reasons to go there. So it's been cool. And it's been something that I think brings us together as a community. And it's helped foster so many friendships that it's just been cool to watch.
You're on the cusp of RP, and I'm thinking when you say RP in SL, I remember there was a sim back in the day called Perdition, and I would go there, and I was like, I don't want to age myself, but I was like in my 20s. Yeah, I was a dragon. No, it was like an urban city, thing. But I want to just shoot people, and they just wanted to write like 3 paragraphs and books, and I'm not even like exaggerating, you literally have to stand there for like 40 minutes until they're done writing. And I don't like to read.
Oh yeah, and that's how a lot of the sims are. And I mean, I respect that too. So like we try to give people the option, like play how you want to play, but
by the way,
find the people that want to play
with
you. Yeah, because that was my interest at first. Because I was into fiction writing hardcore when I joined Second Life, so that's what I found.
You probably that was there.
Yeah, I was the novelist in Second Life.
Yo, but, I would try to read one. I'm like, wow, they should.
Yeah, but no, even my attention span, faded after a while. Because then you have to also like go in post order. So if there are 4 people writing novels each turn, I'm like, this is taking too long.
That novel RP is still existing in SL, or
yeah, I don't know.
I feel because like what you said, like Zeal and BU, I think they took that. I think they took that away really, because now you're really RPing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, there's also like Cracked In, and I don't know if Deaden's still around. I know Cracked In is, but that one was infamous for paragraph roleplay. And I've like popped in there and I see people still doing it.
Yeah. I don't even like to read note cards. Everybody will tell you I can't, like,
yeah.
I'm good.
No, if I come across a note card that doesn't have bullet points, I'm like, I can't read this paragraph.
Oh my God. Somebody, I just don't like to read.
Which is also why I was confused, like we were talking about at the Dope Awards, because they sent me a note card with paragraphs, and I was like, I can't follow these instructions. I don't know what this is.
So what's you own Monarchy, and can you tell us what's going on new with Monarchy?
Yeah, so we're moving to a new sim for the first time since 2016, and it's also expanding the club. I think over the past year or so, we've just grown exponentially. So, we started where we had a club that could fit maybe 20 employees. And now we're at this point where we have this like group of 200 employees, and 60 of them are active on a weekly basis. So we just ran out of space capacity wise.
Yeah.
Which, is stressful for people who work there, because now you're competing with like 20 other girls at the same hour versus like 2 or 3, which the club was made for. So we wanted a new space, but it took a lot of strategy because I'm like, you can't just have a bigger space, you're gonna have the same problem. So there was a lot of strategizing that had to go behind it. But we're opening a big new club. I like posted some work in progress pictures today for the first time, and there's just a lot more to it. And it's still got that like old French bordello kind of intimate vibe.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
there's so many different places where girls can go and where, VIPs know where they are. So it's not about like not getting seen or not having visibility. But that opens and it comes with a bunch of sponsors. We have a bunch of stores that are coming, which I'm super excited about
Oh,
for
really?
the first time. Yeah,
Can you drop some store names?
I can. Let me see if I have a list. I have a list here. It's a very long list.
Also, another important question while we look at that,
Mhm.
is it still going to be free on Tuesdays?
It'll still be free on Tuesdays. I think the
Why
only
did
thing
you
that
say free so close?
so free. Yeah, we want to keep open access. I think that's just a fun day. I think we're hoping to add more like events to it.
You know what's funny? Before you got here, like maybe 4 hours before the show, she's like, I gotta. Everything was quiet, and then she gets on mic. Oh my God, it's free on Tuesdays. Like I forgot. I gotta. I'm like, Jesus.
It's funny because
Raina.
yeah, Ray helps every week to open the club because she's the one that opens access. And if we forget or if she forgets, then it's just not open on Tuesday. But
I'll be waiting at the band lines.
Yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. Your beer her will be.
Excuse me.
Yes.
It's Tuesday. I need to come in.
Tuesday at 2 p.m. too is like the best time because it's happy hour, so rates are half off and it's open access. So I'm like, that's the fun time.
I love that.
But
It
yeah,
goes down and free Tuesdays.
all the things.
That's the scoop.
What happens at the Monarchy stays at the Monarchy.
Oh,
There you go.
you know.
But yeah, we have
that's the rule.
what's
The
cool
golden
is
rule.
it'll be in Bayside. So the club is actually accessible by driving from Bayside. Like people in the community can kind of come hang out at the space.
Oh.
And what we're doing on the ground level, we have a shopping mall, which looks like a very big role play mall, like a mall that you could go to in real life. And it has a bunch of these stores. And then of course there's this huge club entrance.
Mhm.
So the integrating that was a huge part of like why we wanted to move to begin with. Cause it's just been crazy. Like Raina and I do this. We do Bayside and the Monarchy, and it's just hectic trying to jump around from sim to sim every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have like Spoiled, Glitz, Vanilla Bay, Offline,
nice.
Rain, Muse, Secrets. There's so many more. There's just such a long list. I'll be ranting on.
You should do an event.
Oh, I know. It's funny because I thought about that and I was like, at least this is a baby step to an event because I'm
Baby step.
going to, be covering this monthly just like I would do an event and, shopping all the stores, and we're going to be hosting events here so people can see it and see it on YouTube. So it'll be cool.
So can you tell us again the reopening date for the Monarchy when?
Yes, it'll be
happening?
the weekend of March 13th. So it'll either be the 13th or the 14th. We haven't settled on a day yet.
Would there be like a pre-opening?
Yeah, so we actually have a pre-opening this weekend, or this upcoming weekend. So on the 6th, we have a pre-opening for special guests. We'll have them come by and hang out for a while. And then
Young
the
Guns
official
do a
one.
special performance that day.
Yes. We should
Do you have like drama there, like people like going there like trying to find their significant other and just really pissed off?
Oh, always, yeah. I mean,
Really?
quite
Awesome.
often. I think the craziest thing we dealt with, I don't usually talk about the issues, but the one that's crazy, because this one was crazy. Someone wanted us to fire one of our employees. I don't know. But no, someone wanted us to fire an employee, and we didn't know who this person was, and they were claiming to be this person's significant other. And we're just like, we're not going to fire, like, have a conversation with your wife.
Yeah.
But they went into like threatening mode. Like they started coming for people on staff, and they were, trying to access my emails and do all this crazy stuff and trying to link like phishing things all around. Like it got crazy, and we're like, all right, relax.
Oh no.
But we didn't fire her. I mean, I think eventually, but not for that reason.
Eventually. And we have her here. No, just kidding.
Right.
She wants to ask a couple questions. That sounds crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
people
feel
get
like I'm boring. I mean, you really got a lot of things going on from
Mhm.
3 Sims to a really popular YouTube channel. What is
Mhm.
what do you want to do? Guess you said you want to your your entertaining events maybe in the far future. But is there anything else do you want to do? Like what is
Yeah. What is Meela gonna take on next?
yeah, what is Mila gonna do
no idea.
next?
Right now, I think this is all finally coming together because I think it took a solid year for this vision to kind of come to fruition. Because a year ago, that was the plan. The monarchy was the plan.
Mhm.
And I was like, I need something that feels more representative of how I live my second life. Like, not just a strip club, like, not just somewhere people go, like, something that feels a part of how I lead my second life and makes sense with me kind of personally as a brand, as like obnoxious as that sounds. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
so I
No,
remember
right.
step one was YouTube. Like, I was like, first, I kind of have to share what my experience is here and kind of start to build some relationships with it. And I think
Mhm.
that's why I got into it to begin with.
Mhm.
So it feels funny because it's been like a year of planning things that didn't seem at all related to now kind of having it all come together. So that's where I am. I don't have any plans right now for anything additional.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I mean, your plate is full.
Can we talk a little bit about what you review in Equal 10 and the
Mhm.
giveaway and how people participate? Because that's huge. You give away 50K
Yeah.
every
So
month.
How much
So
is that in USD? That's a lot.
I
uh,
don't
That's
know. I
like
think
what,
it's like
a
four or
lot
five
of
200
hundred
money,
bucks.
bucks?
honey.
200? No, 25K is what, 100 and something, right?
I should know this, but I have no idea.
50K is
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna buy me a lot of wigs and shoes. That's all I know.
It's no
yeah.
it's no play
Mhm.
money, I'll tell you
No.
that.
But I mean, that's completely sponsored by Equal 10. So
Mhm.
I mean, I think one of the things that I've come under heat for lately is because I do take on actual sponsors, like monetary sponsors for my channel from
Mhm.
Second Life, which I think is just against the norm. Like people don't pay their bloggers, but like I
Mhm.
get paid by my sponsors.
Mhm.
But also part of their package, they front 50,000 to give away, which is crazy to me because they also do 100,000 on their own channels a month to give away. So like incredibly generous. Um, but that's one of my favorites to vlog. Like the event itself is so fun, and even
Mia?
God, I don't know her second life name. I know her real name. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mia. I
yeah.
was like, I don't want her real name. Um, she's just such a joy to work with, and she's so
She's
fun and always has like
amazing.
really cool idea. And like she was one of the first to ever sponsor and kind of just trusted
Yeah.
my vision for vlogging because I had never vlogged an event. I shopped a couple of times like a mad person, but really trusted me with covering her event and representing them well. So it's just been really cool.
Man, she came and just put a whole different aesthetic on events.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
she
that's
really came out, I love doing that event when we're a part of it,
mm,
and it's
Shout out to her and
and
Equal
they really
10.
have a
yeah,
what's
Shout out
that?
to her and Equal 10.
yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I need
I do.
10K.
I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
They are the money bags. But
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Bia?
so now I do have like a shopping week. And I remember I didn't want to get right into shopping when I started because like it's a tricky path to fall into, especially giving away money often. Because even now, like I there was one month where I did like 6 giveaways and the people wanted more. So I'm like, you don't want to feel pressured into always, spending money for people to watch you. So I didn't want to fall into that trap. So like I feel like it's a good balance now. I only take on 2 event sponsors. So right now it's Equal 10 and Access. And that gives me kind of the freedom the rest of the month to create all this like interactive role play type content, but also satisfy like my desire to shop and shop in like one place instead of hopping all over the grid.
Mhm.
I hear you. When you give giveaways, does people think that like you just like fucking got a shitload of money? They'll just be like, "Hey man, I saw you give 50,000 last week.
Yeah.
Can I get like
Yeah.
5 grand?"
My
And then
DMs are
get
full of,
it.
hey, I want to buy a new hair. Can yeah,
Shoot. What do you say? Because, you don't want to be that
I don't
What do you
respond.
what do you say to tequila?
I say nothing.
What do
Girl,
you say
your
to
wig look
tequila?
I
good
just don't
already. You
answer
don't
it.
need a new one. That's what I say.
That's so ballsy, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially because there were a couple of giveaways where like it was real. Like I think I've given away like real gift cards and like Visa gift cards and Steam credits and
Oh,
all these things. And
wow.
then like people just want more. So that's what I'm like, I try to avoid giveaways as that aren't
Yeah.
necessary. Um,
Yeah.
because people are just gonna want more. Like no one's ever
Yeah.
satisfied, no matter how many
You
ideas.
know what you should do? Here's a little tip from me. Just kidding.
Oh my God.
You should go when you give the 50 grand away, you should go to that person in world and then film it in case they cry. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Well, we split it up, so it's technically like 5. How many? I think we do 5K to people and then a couple of 10K
Wow,
winners.
that's
Yeah,
still
I'll
really
do that.
good.
So it's all split up. Because I did a 50K one once. That one was actually super exciting because I think it was during a subathon and she was there and she was so
Mm.
excited. And that was super fun to do. And she won like 50K. And I was like, I always think back to when I started everything. Like it started off with I was a dancer in Second Life and I made 20K one night. And then I never uploaded in Second Life again. That's like ended up starting the club and I've
Wow.
never uploaded again. So I was like, 50K can change your Second Life.
Really can.
What if somebody
I mean,
cried for like 5K, like just in
oh my
tears?
God.
That's cute. That would touch my heart too.
I would log off.
Remember when I first started, I was a stripper as well, but when I first started that first month, honey, 100 Linden. Ooh, I was taking myself to that 10 Linden, 25 Linden dress store. And I was like, I'm gonna get this dress this week, and then I'll look cute. So I mean,
Right.
that kind of money when you're just starting off, I would cry.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's a lot of coin.
Especially back then. Like there's been so much Second Life inflation, but
Oh,
20K was enough to like survive forever in Second Life back then when we were paying like 50 Linden for an outfit.
You're a baller at that point.
Yeah.
Remember Gothic Cats?
Oh yeah, that store.
No. Yeah, Gothic Cats, yeah. It was I don't know how I said that, but that was my store that I go to. They had like the best textured jeans. You know?
I was like, I don't know what they sell, but they have cats in the name. So I'm like,
yeah.
what kind of store is this? Okay.
I wish I had a reference to the show, but it was crazy. Yeah. And then the jeans went up your ass, you know. So it was hard, you know. Dudes are all acting hard, like "fuck you." I'm like, your jeans are up your ass. Like you.
What I love too, Meela, you do avatar makeovers and how to get started making an Abby and you reviewed the Cooper body and then what you do to make it look good. So I think that's super helpful too. Do you have a favorite body? Is it the Cooper right now? And what's your go-to?
Yeah, it's the Cooper right now. I haven't taken this off since it came out, but I feel like I've been chasing this ridiculous, like, big old bubble butt forever in Second Life. And like this is the
you
body
got
for it.
flagged because of that.
Yeah. Gold.
You're in trouble.
It's a little too good.
What do you love about the Cooper body?
I do like that it's a bigger body period. I think there's this weird assumption that we all want to be super thin, which I think is fine. And I think having a supermodel look is cute. Like my alts, some of them have that look. But I think you get so much weird shade when you want to be bigger. Like I even had a Pigu avatar at one point, which is just a chubby avatar. And like people throw so much shade for no reason. And I'm like, for me, it makes sense. I was like, I don't have this shape in real life, but I'm thicker and I'm curvy. And it makes sense to me that I would want to play with some of these exaggerated curves. And I think I've even talked about that on the channel. Like, I think, we grow up in these bodies that are so, air quotes again, provocative to other people, but they've sexualized us since we're being kids. And now we're in a space where I'm safe and I can really, exaggerate things and no one can really do anything about it. So I like blowing them all out of proportion.
Do you think like people, I know we were talking about this like 2 days ago or yesterday, I don't remember, but like people are so yearning for something different on Facebook. There was this lady, you probably saw it went viral. I guess somebody was shopping at an event and then they posted this lady that was randomly there and she was like an older lady and heavy set.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
It went viral and then people just ate. I'm like, this is how thirsty in a good way that we are for something different than perfection.
Seriously. And I think, that's kind of been the natural progression. Like we have wrinkles and age lines now. And I still think this is why men look so much more realistic in SL because they have all those features that we don't want to throw on our faces sometimes.
I refuse to wear abs. Like I got the skin where it's chubby. So I feel
yes.
Your chubby body.
I know. I love it.
Bad bod.
I'm a fat boy, thick boy. I just don't want to be in here like jacked up and juiced. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I think I'm thinking about it too much, to be honest.
Yeah, if that's your thing, SL definitely has something for everybody. But
Mhm.
one thing I love, Mila, is you do talk about topics like these, and overall mental health in
Mhm.
SL. Can you kind of just touch on, 'cause you had a whole video post on it. Can you kind of touch on that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what that one was about, but it is something. It's weird because I feel like one of those people who plays SL. Like I know people don't like to say that because SL is not a game technically, but I'm here for playtime. Like even my businesses, I think naturally when you're entrepreneurial in real life, that
Mm.
playing is probably going to be a business endeavor. So I play. So even with me having that like level of detachment from SL and from like some of my relationships here,
Mhm.
I still felt like I can see this having an impact on my mental health. And I was like, we just have to talk about it. Like, it's either consoling and it's a positive thing, or it can be very negative. And I think
Mhm.
I've gone through phases where it's been both. Like
Yeah.
even recently, I was talking this morning. I had a second life breakup, like on Valentine's Day,
Oh
Mhm.
and it's
no.
weird because this was my first time having a second life relationship that was more than like our avatars connecting whenever we
Right.
happen to log in. Like this was when we were kind of talking
You
outside of Second Life more.
you thought about that person in real life.
Yeah, and it was annoying. And like this is the relationship I said I would never have. Like I literally made a whole video. Like I don't know why people do this, but here I am.
You you run to the computer, turn it on.
Right. But
Yeah.
it was weird because I think it was bad timing for it too, because now I'm in front
Mhm.
of a camera and I felt very exposed. You know exactly who I am. You see me weekly. I have no idea who I'm talking to. And
Mhm.
like a part of it was like, well, I've known this person for 8 years. It's okay. And then I was like, no, it's just really uncomfortable. Um,
Do you think you got into a relationship because you're vulnerable in real life, or it just was natural and it hit you natural?
I think part of it was like scientific. Like I wanted to be like, what are y'all seeing in these relationships that I don't get?
Oh,
So part of it was like, I'm open to
so
it because I know him and like the time was right. Like I had a second life partner forever who
mhm,
left SL and I was like, all right, we can try this like real relationship, real second life relationship and see where
mhm.
that goes. And it was stressful. And it took up like a lot of mental capacity. I was like,
Yeah.
I get why people get so emotionally invested. Because even I don't even know if we were having problems. There was just like a lot of space, like out of my second life brain that was reserved for this person that like
Right.
kind of set me back with everything else. I was like, well, I can't really get all my shit done because this person's like taking up part of my just mental capacity. It was too much.
Yeah, and you have a lot on your plate, and then you have that's
Yeah.
really gonna engulf when you do SL business, also you create content, that needs a nice big chunk of
Yeah.
your health, and it's gotta be healthy, or it's
Right.
gonna leak into your art, you know?
And it's
Mhm.
crazy because like I felt even creatively just so stifled. And it's nothing he was doing. Like
Right.
it was just taking up space that my brain was not affording at the moment.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
even as soon as we ended things, it was weird. It was just like so relieving and such a weight off my chest. And that's like when I really got to business on finishing the club. Like it was taking me so long to decorate the club. And then I ended up breaking up with him like in 2 days, the club was finished. And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
it was just crazy.
So you're like, "I'm never doing that again." Or
Nope.
are you just
Not
like, "If it
for
happens, it happens?"
me. Not a fan. Like I can see doing my like little role play relationship that I used to do,
Right.
but never will I like, you know, chat with someone on Discord or Facebook Messenger all the time. That was too invasive.
That was intense.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice little story. We're really the masks are off, as we say.
Are.
Yeah, get to know that part. What do
Yeah,
we
and
have? Do
that's
we have any
I feel like that's another appeal to your channel though too, because you do explore like motherhood on here, and you keep it in a game kind of format. So
Mhm.
like with the whole
Yeah, what is
pregnancy, like
your view on motherhood and
yeah.
pregnancy on here?
I think it's really
Like,
cool, and it's funny because I don't like children all that much in real life, and I
I
sure
hate
as hell
children in
didn't
real
like them
life.
in
Oh
Second Life.
my
Yeah.
god.
I used to be so creeped out by
Yeah.
them in Second Life. I hated that they existed. I used to see, like, toddly-doos backflipping
Oh,
around. I was
I
like,
would
"That
hate
is so
when they
weird."
get
And then
on
all of a
voice, like, not saying all of them, because a lot of them are great. I don't want to be bashed, but there was one specific moment and one specific tile do. They were like, "This is, my kid," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And then he got on voice like, "Hey, you cocksucker." I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, kids don't talk like that. Like, I'm confused. Now I don't,
That's almost better that someone got on voice as a toddler do was like baby talking, but like you could hear so much bass in their voice, and I was like, this is freaking me out. So like
Like, gabba
for
goo goo boo boo.
yeah. So for that reason, I was very turned off by it. But then like that's my thing. Like I'm just like I'm gonna try some shit that I wouldn't naturally do. So I remember I started off at Mama Alpha, or however you say, Mama Alpha, I think, and just to see like how to get pregnant. And that's where it started. And
Too
then I like
curious.
slowly
That's what gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
What does this Mama Alpha do? Let me try.
Right. And that was an experience in and of itself. But
Really?
it progressed from like Zuby, and then now I have a toddler dude that is my little bot baby. So
Oh,
but I
is
think
it?
it's cool. Like for me, it's just like play, and I'm like, she's like an accessory. She's really cute, like purse.
Oh,
But
she's not a real.
Oh my
No.
god, she's like a curse. Oh my god.
I'm not curious enough for someone to play her. That
If you had a toddler dude, do you prefer their voice on or off?
off. Like
Yeah.
she makes little baby sounds, but even sometimes I turn those off. Like she doesn't cry or anything like that. She's just like
Well, when she does cry, you throw in your inventory. And...
I deleted all the cries.
Are you gonna get the new Zuby Mama body?
Yeah, so Carrie actually sent that over to me. I haven't tried it on yet because I really don't feel like getting pregnant again. Because I create these pregnancy series and they're so like time consuming. And I'm like, as soon as I put that on, I know I'm gonna probably create another series.
Yeah.
You're gonna put that on when you have a break in business and that.
Yeah, everything
go-
once the dust is settled.
Go down to the Poconos. Shout out to NYC. Have you ever been there?
No, I think I tried. I think I was doing a video over the winter, but it was like access. I couldn't get in. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I like feel like you're always working. Do you ever get some time to just kind of like, step away from being Meela, the YouTuber, Meela, the business owner? Do you ever get that time for yourself on here?
Not much. I think for a couple of months while I was like mulling over the design for the new club, I had like a lot of days where I was just like hanging out in Bayside and role playing and like not answering anyone's questions, just like going on about my day. And that was really fun. So I think once, things are open and up and running, I'll kind of have the opportunity. And then like me and Raina go on random little excursions all the time. We'll check into like a Second Life hotel and try to turn the IMs off for the weekend. But
you need somebody to help you to do all that stuff.
Well, I have great help. So Ray helps, and then I have Amy, who's not here, but she's our club manager, our staff manager. So between those two, they help a ton.
Right.
They get a lot done.
You did say you got like 200.
Yeah. So I still don't know how they manage all that. And I've been kind of checked out of the club because like it was too much for me to try to build for the future and kind of stay in current state. So I kind of just had to like ignore current state for a minute and plan what's ahead. So they've kind of taken reins on that completely over the past year, and it's been crazy, especially Ray, because she also does all of our like rental stuff on the Bayside. Bayside side,
a whole staff, like like a whole organized operation. Jeez.
Yeah. And then even with the new mall, so now we have another girl who's helping like manage all of our sponsors. So it's just like I feel very lucky to have found like their particular skill set, because I feel like that's been hard to find the right staff, because I've even tried to have assistants. Like I can't have an assistant. I've tried, I've gone through them. I'm like, it doesn't work. But I have these like 3 women who are like headstrong and self-motivated and super organized.
It's a blessing when you find somebody here that's not toxic. You know what I mean? Like just that is a blessing. And when you find that, and if they got other skills or something.
Yeah. And I feel like they all have skills. Like I would hire them all in real life at any business that I had, like naturally. I feel like that's so hard to find in Second Life. And it's also hard to find people who are okay doing things that aren't Second Life norms. Because I think that's been most of my like resistance in Second Life, or with a lot of people who don't like the way I do things because it's not the way people do things in Second Life. But the 3 of them have been really supportive, and they're like, well, then we just won't do it the Second Life way. We'll do it what makes sense for us.
Yeah.
I would like to have the staff here, or not staff, but like family and friends and all this here that does the show in real life, and then fire them. Tell them to go home.
Share our own personal differences.
Not everybody can fit in the basement.
And so glad we don't care if you do. We'll just laugh in your face and pour a drink. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Right.
Watch out for the leaky pipes. So if somebody that wants to start up a YouTube channel and they really have genuine aspirations to get some content, what is something that you could say to help them, like basic to-dos?
Yeah, I would just say don't necessarily study other Second Life YouTubers. Like, just do what you want to do. Because I think when I went into it, I was like, well, people don't create stuff like this. And for a while, it made me nervous even creating content that other people weren't doing, because I didn't think there'd be a demand or an interest in it. So I would just say, like, honestly, just go crazy. Your first 100 videos, create whatever the hell you want, and just figure out what you have the most fun doing, because it's going to be a lot of work. So you have to make sure it's something that's super rewarding for yourself.
There's literally like a handful of, you're really on the cusp of hopefully a trend that would get bigger and people will watch. That's the thing. SL community, support these, go look at the YouTube, watch these videos. They're so great and informative,
Yeah. And I love that. And I remember when I started, there were 5 maybe YouTube channels for Second Life content. And it was weird though, because it felt very much like people were gatekeeping, like they didn't want more YouTubers. So I even felt that resistance, like they didn't want me in that space. And there were a couple times where they would even join my live streams, where I was trying to encourage people to be on YouTube, and they were saying no, you're not going to really be able to grow as a Second Life YouTuber. You'll never get more than 2,000 subscribers. I remember that conversation so clearly, because I think I was 800 subscribers. It was actually today's my anniversary for my first subathon. So I had
nice
last year. And I remember that was thank you. But that was the moment I was all right, she gonna make me have to prove her wrong. So I went crazy after that, and I was all right, so we're really gonna grow this channel. Where at first it was just gonna be fun. But there was weird gatekeeping, and I don't get that logic, because the more people that are creating Second Life content on YouTube, the more interest there'll be, and naturally we'll all continue to grow. So it doesn't make sense to try to block anyone from doing that.
I feel happy to have you here, because I kind of entered your world. Not I entered that, you know what I mean? That club, and there's so much, and I can just learn from the people that, just been there for a while and really doing it well.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know.
We've had designers on, we've had, different people from different business avenues on here. And you could tell what makes a successful leader, because you talk just like they do.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy, just have fun with it, and
they're so focused on their own hustle.
Yeah, there's that drive, and it's it's okay. I could see why you're successful as well.
Yeah. And it's funny, because I think there was this one point where I had weird YouTube drama that doesn't last long, because again, I get very hyper focused. Well, no, I'm sure everyone thought I did, because I also didn't respond to it. But I get very hyper focused. A lot of people, I've been accused before of I don't even know, having issues with other people that do things that I do just because I don't acknowledge them. And I'm there's a very strong chance I didn't know you existed. Because I think, maybe that's the downside of it, is you get hyper focused on your own shit, and you kind of get a little self-centered in that way. I'm just so focused on me and my projects and what I'm doing that I don't always notice anything else going on. So if people aren't very clearly telling me, I might not see it. But I think that may be the downside, but I think it's something that's kind of prevalent in anyone who kind of is building anything, that you get super focused on yourself.
You mentioned a great topic, because you're somebody that is getting a shitload of views, and you're pretty much out there, and so you're opened up to criticism. So what is your advice for somebody that says something that's a lie or something mean? What is your advice to people that, you know what I mean?
Experiencing that hate.
Yeah. What would you do?
I think that was what my mental health video was about. I was what was it about? But yeah, that's it. So I think you really just have to be confident in yourself and what you do. I never feel like I have to prove myself to anyone here. I don't feel like I need people to like me. Like granted, that's like in game because you want more views, but naturally, like I don't feel any sort of way whether or not people like me. Like I've never cared how many likes I've gotten on Facebook or Instagram.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't care if it wasn't for analytics, I don't think I would care about YouTube views either. It's literally like
Just in your face.
I know it's like there. It's making compete with
Legit,
it.
I
I
feel
don't press
like
that
that
button.
really, for me as a viewer who's been watching you, I feel like that really comes across. Like you're unapologetic about who you are. Here I am, even you, just not even wearing makeup. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she is brave. She has no makeup on right now.
Yeah.
What? It's just like this is me, and you're behind the Abby, and it's just like, oh my god. But I feel like that's what your draw is. You're this real
Yeah.
person. You're not gonna apologize for who you are. You know, you're navigating this game just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And
And like
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
make mistakes. I'm gonna
admired.
do crazy shit. Like I've had one video I've deleted because I was like, that was mean as hell. Um, but
That's
I
it.
think in life, like it's no one else's responsibility to kind of influence whatever path you're on. So like that's how I live my life in general. That's my philosophy. Like one, I'm not going to try to influence the way someone else lives because you know that's their journey that they have to go on, and no one can influence mine. So I genuinely don't care what people have to say or what they think because they're not a part of you know what I'm building or where I'm going.
I think
Yeah.
like if that ever happened to me, which I'm hoping, because that's when you
Oh
make it.
God.
You know you made it when somebody's like, "Ah,"
Yeah.
but but I would ignore them, and I don't feel like nobody is owed an explanation to
Mhm.
anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Right.
feel very weird when you see other people writing like 4 paragraphs of why a certain website got it
Yeah.
wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why would you even give them that much energy? Just ignore it.
Yeah, and I get it though, because right, if I see something immediately,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
triggered and I want to say some shit, but I'm like halfway through it, I'm like, I don't feel like doing this anymore.
Y-
So I
Yeah,
don't
there's a lot of times where I vent like to tequila whores, everybody here, we're so close, as friends, and I just be like, "Rah,
yeah.
rah, rah, rah," and they, hear it, and then it's off my chest.
Mhm. And
I
then
think
I mean, at some point you're gonna notice like the benefit from it. So like when people talk about me, my views go up and I'm making money on YouTube. So
that's what I
naturally it makes
heard.
money.
That's what I heard. That's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping,
Yeah.
somebody
So
say
even
some
like
juicy stuff about me.
right, just let it happen. Whatever.
Just
It'll help you in the long run.
make it good. Don't make it stupid.
Right. I know. I think I saw on a particular website that I was in the Illuminati once, and that was like the most
You
fun I've had.
What the fuck? That's awesome.
Yes.
I was like,
You're
okay, I'm gonna play
you're
into
Don't
up
tell
there
this.
us
with
not the
Jay-Z.
Illuminati,
Right.
please.
I was like, am I Beyonce now? Thank you.
Yeah, it's like Meela and Jay-Z are just joined the
It's
Illuminati.
your Slayonce because of SL.
The perks of getting those views.
I think just laugh
Mhm.
about it. Because also, if you think about like someone else paying that much attention to you to
Yeah,
want to like make something up, that's cute. That's funny.
yeah. But here on the same, on the other side of this is like you are bringing this almost normalizing SL, and that has not been
Yeah.
done. And I think that's why, it's so important to have somebody on an influencer, not just on YouTube, but just an influencer over this game doing that because it hasn't been done. Like who normalizes SL? Who tells their you know what I mean? So I think
You're
there's a
so
lot of
confident and you
positives to
go,
take away.
yeah, you're so confident and you go, you're crushing the stereotypes of, what,
Yeah. And
Mhm.
you
Mila
know.
can tell her best friends, maybe I can, but I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You're such a good representative of SL, and I hope more
Yeah.
people
Thank you.
join SL because it's really creative and there's toxic in
It
everything you
is
do.
Mhm.
super
Even
creative.
Minecraft, they're arguing and you know what I mean? They're all made out of blocks, you
And
know.
you're showing the capabilities of SL, through
Yeah.
the role play. There is that, the sexy side of SL, but there is a lot more to it too.
Yeah. And
So
Doing all that.
keep doing your thing, Mila.
Do you want to say anything to your fans as we start to
This is
wrap
the
up here?
famous last words. What would you like
Yes.
to say on voice? And
I don't even on the spot, but I'm honestly just super appreciative and like completely humbled by it that people have like stuck around and been interested in what I was doing. Because that was always just my fear is that it would be very different or like too open and honest and in your face. But people have
yeah,
been so supportive, and like even my Discord community, it's crazy. Like I still can't even believe that people are interested. So
Would you
I
ever do a podcast? Like a little Meela podcast chat, like you and your
Hila says,
I
yeah.
feel like I've tried a couple of times. I don't know. I can't remember how those videos did.
you don't want to look at those analytics.
No, and like YouTube
Passed
ranks me
away
now.
in the
I don't
cupboard
like to tell
somewhere.
you.
So where can people catch you, Mila? Can we have what's your channel name and all that? Where can they find you on the socials?
So on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Meela Vanderbuilt, and built is with a Built. I spelled it very weird. But same on Instagram, Meela Vanderbilt, and Meela Vanderb on Twitter.
And we'll have your links when we release the video. And I thank you so much for coming. You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Awesome. All right. That's all, Crooks. And bye.
Yes. Bye.